The following program is sponsored by The Greek, Ely's Radio Shack dealer at 570 Altman in downtown Ely, and brought to you as a public service by Georgetown Media in Ely, Nevada. Ely City Council special meeting, June 29th, 2021.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll have the roll call.
Mayor Robertson.
Present.
Councilman Flangus.
Here.
Councilman Carson is absent. Councilman Spear.
Here.
Councilman Allward.
Yep.
Councilwoman Beecher. Here. City Treasurer Trask. Here. City Public Works Supervisor Craig Pratt.
Here.
City Fire Chief Dorr.
Here.
That's all, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. With that, we'll move on to item 2, public comment. Please state your name for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, I go to City Hall numerous times and waited for public information. I get to get it. I'm going to repeat myself. The Planning Commission City today has not addressed the city code violations like previous and present members of the Planning Commission, as well as some of the councilmen and some of the county commission. They need to provide city codes that they have formulated and adopted at the time. Can't have it standard, and that's what we have. I want to remind you, the city media in White County cannot selectively enforce the law. They have to be compliant with federal law, in particular the Age Discrimination Act of 1975, the Americans with Disability Act of 1990, and the Civil Rights Act of 1964, Title VI. Mr. Mayor, we still have horses in the community within the city limits. We have an RV parked on a lot without Murray Street, right next to Mr. Spear, as a matter of fact. I've yet to see any permit. I've asked for a list. I can't use my property like others do. Here's a letter dated May 22nd, 2019. I evicted 2 people off of my property. I'm the only one that's getting citations. I'm having to remove people that I rent from, but throughout this community, you have RVs set up. Some are stacked, as in the Carson Trailer Park. 2 RVs on one lot in violation of the fire code. You have commissioner who has a sign in the city walkway. Commercial sidewalks have to be 5 foot wide per city code. No obstruction. Here's RVs set up in the city. If they got a permit, I'd like to see it. I want to rent my property. I'm without, they continue. Here's another example of horses within the community, within the city limits. I'm not sure what your animal control officer is doing, but let's stop the selective enforcement. Here's heavy-duty trucks, semis parked in a residential area across from the property. I paid $570 for zone change on my properties. Those individuals want to use theirs for a commercial purpose, we need to do the same. I don't care if they're a commissioner or a city councilman. Here's another day, more vehicles. We need to address those things, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, I see that the bleachers have been painted. They really look good. Finally, that should have been done a long time ago. But you need to rethink your plan for this park. Do not get rid of those grandstands. You're throwing away a lot of money. I don't know where you plan on getting it for the others, but if you get away from that, you're actually squandering taxpayers' money, and that needs to stop.
Thank you, George. Is there any other public comment? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to item 3, items for discussion and possible action only at the Ely City Council. Item 1, council members, City Treasurer Trask, discussion for possible action, determination whether city employees will cost share 50% in the public employees retirement system, PERS contribution rate pursuant to NRS 286.4421 3 through in lieu of equivalent basic salary increases or by reduction of salary. That's an option.
And y'all understand what this means, right?
Before we start, Mr. Mayor,
Yes. Are these not working? Tested, tested, tested.
Can you hear me now?
Hello?
There's something over here.
Yeah, I mean, it says it's on, but I'm not seeing, when I speak, when you speak, when anyone speaks, I'm not seeing the sound come through here.
So they're not hearing anything on the Zoom call.
I don't think it's even coming through these, are they?
I don't think
Yeah,
they
he's
can.
not getting any sound.
Okay.
The attorney just texted me.
Oh, that probably.
Is there something over here?
We can start over and just take a minute to disconnect.
That's exactly what it is. Let me shut this off.
Okay.
Go to a commercial.
Yeah.
Now they will.
Okay, how about that?
No.
Hello? Hello?
Sounds
That was on, that was on. Ooh,
Yeah.
there it is, Jim.
It's not.
Still not picking up anything.
No,
Shane's still not hearing us then?
correct, yeah. He's texting me back.
Now try it, Jim.
Hello? Hello?
Testing.
Testing.
The ones are up. Ours are on.
Isn't he in town? It's been over 6 months.
Do you want to restart the meeting?
Yeah, let's just stop and restart.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll take a quick recess, 5 minutes.
See what we can do.
Get the technology, they said. It'll be so much better.
We'll be ready, they said.
Light flash for a minute. Light flash for a minute
Yeah,
there.
it's not picking up the lines. Hello?
Try it out, yeah.
Hello?
You got it. Got it.
Oh, it was that button, Mike?
There's
Good
two of them.
job.
All right.
Got that, no, that-
Yeah.
for that door.
Or is that those lights?
Yeah.
That's what you're wanting.
Nobody watches for that grand flashing when in the rearview mirror. Right?
You're used to the red and blue flashing?
Okay,
That normally spots it for
we're up
the
again.
rearview mirror.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Everybody sign back on?
Not yet. No. He's not on yet.
You see where the other news across from the. Yeah, out there. It doesn't come out much, but I do see it.
Can you hear us, Shane?
Better question is, can we hear him?
Right. Yeah, he's still muted here.
It's still.
Yeah, he can hear us now,
Okay.
so.
But it does, still doesn't sound like it's coming.
It doesn't sound like it's coming.
Um,
10 PM muted to speak?
Yeah, I just asked him to,
Okay.
yeah.
from the microphones to the computer. So I'm going from the microphones to the
Okay.
speaker.
He's unmuted now.
Okay, go ahead, Shane. Try saying something.
He says he's talking.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Shane.
Well, he can always, call. I wonder if it'd be better if he called.
Try to talk out.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, there it
There's
is.
some.
Ye-
Shane, go ahead and try and say something.
Can you hear me?
Yep,
Yeah.
there we go. Okay,
There we go.
we're back in session.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I'm going to try and explain this as best I can. I know it's confusing, but because the city of Ely is a non-choice agency, PERS still believes that employee and employers contribute to the retirement. So the way that a non-choice agency's employees contribute is by having lower wages. When they retire, they factor that in and they basically feel like they raise their wages up to somebody comparable that was doing the contribution of employee-employer. So when the rates go up every 2 years, it's expected that the employees share in that in 2 ways in non-choice agencies. Either it's half of whatever the percentage it goes up. So in this case, for the regular employees, it's 0.25. For the fire department, it's 0.75 is their half. So they have a choice of either having their wages, basically their hourly wages, lowered by that percentage, and that's how they're contributing to their, they're giving it to the employee to pay on their behalf to PERS. Or we do it what's in lieu of a raise, which says, we'll just go ahead and pay it and consider it as a raise to them. Even though they're not getting a raise to their salary, it's just that we're not going to reduce their salary and pick up the cost and pay it on their behalf. And that's the choice that you're making now. The cost to the city, if we do the in lieu of raise for everybody, is approximately just over $7,100
For the year.
for the year.
How many, I didn't hear.
$7,100 for the year for all employees. And this factors in for not just union employees, it's all of us here that, the exempt employees, which is why it can be brought up in union negotiations, but it doesn't have to be. I made them aware and asked if they were aware the rates were going up, and the union rep said yes, it was never discussed. So it's just an option. It can, but it doesn't have to be.
So by statute, it doesn't have to be in union negotiations, this is making me real nervous, and I did ask Shane, and he sent me an email back on that, but, man, I just feel like if we're gonna increase cost to the employee, it should be agreed upon in those negotiations, but.
But there's part of us that are not even in union
Sure,
negotiations, and this affects us too. It's
Yeah.
not just them, it's the exempt employees too. And I have no say in those union negotiations.
Sure.
And no, it's not. And to be honest with you, when I found out the rates were going up, I threw it in the budget. So right now, it is in the budget for the city to pay it. So it's in our budget. It's your choice if you want to do it as in lieu of raise or salary reduction.
My personal opinion on this, I think the city should absorb it. An increase.
Councilman Spear, you can pull the microphone.
My personal feeling on this is we should absorb it as a city and have it in lieu of raise that much money on it. Because it's not, they don't have to contribute to it. And they never really have, so if we reduce their wages now, I just like the idea that we can afford to do it. I mean, the 7,100, I expected you to come up with a lot bigger number than
Now,
that.
I can give you an example. I figured it on myself. It would cost the city $166 and some odd cents for the year to contribute my portion of that.
Yeah, we just took that percent.
It's very minimal.
Well,
Is that a motion, Councilman?
Yeah, I'd like to move that the city picks up that portion of the PERS increase and lieu of the salary decrease for the employees.
Do I have a
I'll
motion from
second
Councilman
that.
Spear and a second from
And
Councilman
I
Petro?
also make a point?
Yeah,
One time in my lifetime here at the city, if the rate is ever reduced, you do understand we have to raise their wages by that half a percentage. It's just, there's two flip sides to this, but normally it's always going to be a decrease.
Have you ever heard of decrease?
Yes, I've lived through one. It's been many, many years ago.
it doesn't happen typically.
No, like I said, it's only happened once since 2002 that I've known of.
Okay. Eric, definitely.
So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions of the treasurer or anything else anybody would like to add? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Carried and so ordered. Item 2, Mayor Robertson, discussion for possible action, acceptance of Michelle Beecher's resignation as member of the Ely City Council, seat 5, effective July 1st, 2021. You all have a copy of the resignation letter there.
Yeah, I hate to leave. I feel like we just got started. But I need 4 bedrooms, guys. My teenagers are sharing rooms and it's not working. So yeah, it just so happened that the house we ended up getting is outside the city limits. So I hate to go and it's really kind of making me sad. But I appreciate.
Accept the resignation then.
What's that?
I think we shouldn't need to.
That's fine. Like I said, I can tell Brittany, I'll just keep coming. I can do that. But anyway, I appreciate the, working with all of you.
Well, if we're out of one voting house, so.
Okay, works for me.
Maybe somebody else has something to say about that.
We do appreciate your service and thank you for your prompt attention to this issue.
And I'll move to accept the resignation.
Motion to accept from Councilman Spear, second from Councilman Oliver. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Regrettably carried and so ordered. Item 3, Mayor Robertson, discussion for possible action, retroactive approval for city clerk to post announcement that individuals interested in being nominated for appointment to seat 5 on the Ely City Council will be filled at the next regular meeting, July 8th, 2021. They must contact Mayor Robertson or a city council member by noon, July 1st, 2021. Nominated candidates' names will be listed on the July 8th, 2021 Ely City Council agenda. So due to the time constraints, we wanted to make sure that we got that advertised at the suggestion of Councilman Allworth as soon as we could. So they did put a notice out as soon as we were made aware of the letter. And this is retroactive approval of that. I think the attorney just wants to go over a little bit of what the process is for NRS prior to the next city council meeting. Are you there, Shane?
Yes.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Are you? So the process in NRS 266.225 doesn't set forth any formal process, but the process we've chosen to utilize is a notification and announcement in the paper with each of your contact information. And so that notification or public notice has Mayor Robertson, Councilman Flangus, Councilman Carson, Councilman Spear, and Councilman Allworth, with each of their contact information, their email listed. An individual seeking a nomination will contact one of the members of the council, and each of you will have an opportunity to select one person to be proposed at the July 8th meeting. And so we'll have 5 individuals potentially, if each person has a nomination, to be presented at the July 8th meeting where the council will be able to look to those nominations and make a decision at that time.
Are there any questions about the process for the attorney or any questions on the notice or anything that would like to add?
Hey Shane, this is Jim. What's the bona fide proof of residency for when you're what qualifies for that?
So they need to be, the only real requirement is a resident of the city of Ely for the previous 1 year. And so what the individual need to be able to show is that they have been a resident for 1 year. And so we could utilize if they had the ability to show us through, a driver's license that was issued over a year area or some kind of utility bill. It's just important, that is the only actual requirement set forth in the is that they are an actual resident of the city of Ely for the previous 1 year. And so there's a few different ways we can satisfy that requirement if they show proof. But if they're unable to give us some kind of proof of 1 year, they wouldn't meet that requirement.
They also have to be 18, don't they? Shane?
Yeah.
Okay. 18 and a resident of the city, even for.
Yes.
1 year. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Okay. Any other
Yes,
questions?
thank you.
Okay, you mentioned that we could possibly have 5 candidates, but we could have more also, or we, as a councilman, have to say if somebody comes to me, or 3 different people, I select one of them, but they all, how does that work?
The way that was discussed, if you have more than one candidate come, the intent is that you pick the person you think is best to put forward and invite the others to either approach one of the other council members for a nomination or, yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Is that, did I state that correctly, Shane?
Yes.
Okay.
They've not been
Any other questions? Did you have anything else to add, Shane?
No.
Okay. If there are no other questions, I'll entertain a motion on the retroactive approval for the notice.
So moved. I'll give it.
That's the last.
Get it last. Motion from Councilwoman Beecher, second from Councilman Howard. Any further discussion?
Who's your second?
Jim is the second, yeah. If there's no further discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried, so ordered. With that, we'll move.
Mayor Robertson,
Yeah.
if I can just know, so if someone does contact you and you want to put forward their name, please contact me no later than noon on Thursday, because we have to have the agenda out prior to 9 on Friday due to the 5th, being a holiday, so.
Oh, fix the observed.
5th is the observed, so.
Okay, with that, we'll move to item 4, public comment. Please state your name for the record. You all have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, the cleanup on Alton has not really been done. You still have weeds growing in on lots, now drying out. Weeds growing in the sidewalks, dirt in the gutters, red and yellow zones need to be painted. They haven't been. Only a few days away from the 4th. You have sagebrush growing in the sidewalk areas, again, some 4 feet tall or more, all located within a block or 2 of Main Street. Streetlights that are out need to be repaired. Some were reported over 2 years ago. They're still out. And going by the Veterans Park, the guardrail was removed, is yet to be replaced around the Murray Creek overflow ditch located in the Veterans Park near the gazebo, barbecue stands, and the new Veterans Park sign. You have a dropping hazard or falling hazard, which someone could get hurt, break a hip. There's no excuse for that. I brought that forth over a month ago to the county commission. You guys need to get your building inspector down there and put up something to caution people. Mr. Mayor, Councilwoman Beecher and all have yet to address the rumor that tens of thousands of dollars have been embezzled from the railroad. Yes or no? This concerns the rest of the council. If you can't account for taxpayers' money, you need to go. You're forgetting the fiduciary responsibility. The city's always looking for money. I don't see any progress. The railroad needs to come back under the oversight of the city council and operate under the Nevada open meeting law, since they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. You should recall the city attorney's opinion regarding the tree board and the animal control board. They want to be clerk appointed, but they spend taxpayers' money. Hundreds, maybe a few thousand, not tens of hundreds of thousands. We've got a problem here. You can't have double standards, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, I've been to the city hall now 9 different times. Again, I talked to Lee Walker about a permit for the taking care of the motel. I asked for consideration. It was given to the community choir, no contractor, no building permit, no handyman. I can take care of the problem if you allow me to. I'm not gonna do a full restoration because I don't have the money. I'm still waiting for contractors to contact me. I told the lady if you can give me the contractor who took out the asbestos from the old Ruby Motel. I saw Debbie Van Camp working there. I don't know if he was the contractor. I don't think he has a license for that, but I'll get a hold of that contractor and ask him to give me a quote. The same with the person who owns the Eve Hotel. There was something, some asbestos taken off of there. I'll talk to the contractor. I'm willing to do what I can, Mr. Mayor, but I need something pretty soon. Other than that, give me permission. I'll start on it as soon as I get that.
Thank you, George. Any other public comment? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to item 5 for adjournment.
So moved.
So,
Motion by Councilman Teacher, second by Councilman Alves. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
What's that? County commissioner now.
I don't know how that would work. I think that would be a nightmare for James. To try to figure out those conflicts.
you go up to your hotel?
I know. Here's a short supply.
Yeah, thank you.
This has been a Georgetown production. George Chat just reporting.